1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective
A. Oh.
Enemies in orbit.
Shields taking damage. I've got you covered. Let me patch that up.
Okay. This is a really good start. Let's just go over this one more time. So, you bash in to get to the hog. It looked like you tried to whip shot him back into your team. If so, good. I think... Yeah, you did. Okay. I think you missed it, but like, still, good try. Bash in was a misclick. Okay. I wasn't quite sure, like, having bash to stun his vape would have been better, but I thought maybe you were just trying to get into that corner in time, which, if that was your thought process, that would be okay too. But I love that you are constantly looking back towards your Ana and moving back and forth a lot. But let's make this a little bit better. So, here. I'm going to go... It's like right idea, but with some like optimizations. Oh, wrong button. So like, I know Brig is bodyguard for Ana. Yeah, but she's also good for holding a corner with an off tank. Yep. She can also like at times off angle on her own. That I'm not sure if we'll get into that today. That gets kind of complicated and weird, but like. She sort of acts as bait, and you have to force the enemy team, or pick positions where if the enemy team actually pushes on you, they're inting, and also still has line of sight on the people who need your inspire. It gets hard. But anyway, FD God is a really good example to watch for that. He's brilliant with his Brig positioning. Like, everyone knows his Lucio, but his Brig is actually genius. Anyway... I digress. Moving back and forth and moving through the fight, kind of like Lucio, except, you know, more limited because you're Brig, is exactly what you want to be doing. But pushing up here through open space, you don't have enough cover coming, like, back and forth through this lane, and your shield is paper thin. So, I would look to push up here, and then hold this corner to go for the whip shot and path behind this truck, like, in this instance. And then, like, if you get caught here, then you can bash to here or to here, like, whichever way you want to go, yeah? But just, like, the idea of pathing behind cover and then holding this corner to doink the whip shot and get Inspire going, and then backing up. My favorite Brig player is Faith from Boston. Huh, I live in Boston. I don't know Faith, though. Are they, like, OWL player or just happen to live here? I haven't been paying attention to, I haven't been watching any of the Boston games, so I don't even know who's on the roster anymore. Yeah, so... I want to give you a couple other positioning options. First off, they don't really have dive anymore. Like, they have a diva, but she's probably not going to just deep dive your Ana anytime soon. And especially since she doesn't have, like, there's no tracer, there's no monkey, there's no etc. Hog might be out on a flank, but like if you can see the hog, then you know that's fine. So you don't actually need to be on top of your Ana anymore. When they had multiple people that were going to be flanking around and coming for her, when they still had that tracer, you needed to be on top of her. But now you have options. So you could be over here with your hog, looking to doink whip shots, swing into people as they come around, bash somebody if he lands the hook, etc. And then, like, you can still pack your Ana. Right now, the peel that she needs from you is pack. Make sure you always have a pack for her, and she's in your LOS, and you're still watching her. And then you can take these more forward positions and just go, whoop, drop her a pack if she needs one, go back to doing your thing. Other options up here can actually be surprisingly good. Like, you can be kind of a dick when they start trying to push in here if they start pushing up here, and then you always can come off. You can bash onto this high ground, which gives you options. And, like, from the high grounds, you can always drop, too. So, you obviously don't have time to make a rotation up here now. So, right now, I will be playing this corner. But I want you to also think about waiting on high grounds where you can just see more of what's going on, and then dropping when it's a good time to drop, yeah? I like this flank. And I like that you back off, because, like, that Hanzo can one-shot you if you go for the whip shot. So, you looked for it, you didn't see it, you left. I love the thought process. Good try. Okay. Where is your Ana? Let me see something. Oh, thanks so much for the sub, Pepe Retro. 2 months now. Yay, second month. Alright, where is your Ana? I just want to see. It's right behind you. Okay. Yeah. I just want to double check your pack management here, and see if, like, here your full packs, if you could have had a pack maybe for your Sig or one for your Ana. Oh yeah. So, only one of those packs is good. Sorry. So first off, here, your Sig is fine. Ana's right there with him. He's using his suck and backing up. He has cover. He doesn't need this pack. And, like, if it was early, then sure, whatever. Get a little more ult charge. But you got, like, D.Va over here. You can't see this Kree, but, like, if D.Va's diving in, you can assume she has her team with her. Like, the fight is about to start. Yeah. My general rule is that first pack I can be liberal, second and third I have to be careful. Yeah. I agree with that generally. I just think if I see this, I want to pack whoever that D.Va is flying on, and that's my, like, free pack. So they get out alive. You pack him a little bit early before you notice that he's antied, and then that pack on the Sig is good, because he's slept and low, and, like, it is a Super Zen orb. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. But then I like this, and you're going forward to, like, protect him. That was good. And then that pack, you're, like, throwing them out off cooldown now as the fight is starting. So, like, I could almost understand the first pack on the Sig as an early pack, except, like, if you miss that out of the corner of your eye, like, that makes sense. It happened really quickly. But after that, being more careful so you don't pack somebody who's anti. And also just generally try to resist packing your tanks. Sometimes you'll have to, and, like, you shouldn't just let them die when you got packs. But you're taking heals from your Ana when you do that. Right now she has ult, so it's fine. But, like, if she doesn't have ult, you really want to think about that. She needs to build nano, and she builds it off the backs of your tanks. Also, your packs are more impactful for the DPS. And those shooting the DPS is harder for Ana. It's easier for you to keep the DPS alive. So you can fall into this trap where you're, like, packing the tanks so they're fine. So impactful. Oh no. But yeah, you could fall into this trap, and like Mercy's, this is a problem too a lot, where you're like healing the tanks, and then the DPS needs help, so the Ana turns and tries to help the DPS, but that's harder for her, so like, she's desperately trying to keep your DPS alive while your tanks are slowly bleeding out because the absolute wrong support to keep them up is the one that's trying to keep them up. Unfortunate. Okay. I want to watch this one more time popped out. Okay, here we go. What's this recontest here? Rally. It's good. I actually like hugging in that corner. Oh, you just didn't hear the Kree behind you. To be honest, I didn't hear the Kree either. Have I shown you the sound setting thing, though? This is just in case. This might really help your audio awareness. Dolby Atmos for headphones. It's off by default for some reason. If you have very fancy, expensive headphones with like real, not emulated surround sound, then you probably want this to be off. It's probably better in the headphones. But if you don't, you definitely want this to be on. Like, it makes those sounds way more distinct and way more obvious where they're coming from, behind you, above you, below you, etc. So, like, highly recommend turning that on if it isn't, if that applies to you. But otherwise, yeah, that's just an unlucky death. Maybe if you hear the Kree in time you get out of there, but
it cannot be stopped.
Flash Fan is kind of hard to outplay, especially when you're being dragoned and pinched by a monkey with Transcendence. They just hit a whole bunch of Q. And at that point, honestly, you had done enough, so they don't even get a tick.
Du mår bättre snart. Så gott som nu.
Here, especially you want to be on the high ground. On this one in particular. Peek whip shot. Peek whip shot. Throw out packs as needed. Peek whip shot. You see monkey leap in, you whip shot his dive and fuck it up. I would high ground, but my Ana hates high ground, so I'm down with her. Who they got? So they got Monkey Diva now. They don't have Diva DVS, but like you still need to be keeping an eye on your Ana. But your Ana right now is next to your Sig and your Hawk. She has bodyguards. If anyone dives your Ana, both your tanks are going to turn on them immediately. And if you're up here, you can still pack her, you can still whip shot whoever dives her, and you can bash to her if you need to. Being a bash away is really the thing. You don't have to be right on top of her unless they're going hard dive. Like, if they also had a tracer still, then I would kind of understand, like, literally babysitting her. Like, on top of her. So, like, if the tracer comes in with pulse or whatever, you can stun them. Or try to, like, catch the pulse on shield. But I think the play right now is this high ground. Yeah, and also you would have had LOS on your Genji, so you could have packed him. Maybe that makes the difference, maybe not, but like, you just have so many more options for out there. This is good though, chasing with your Hog until you bashed her away. Don't whip shot while your Hog's close range shooting her too. Whip shot needs to be a finishing move unless like you want them to go away.
At your service. Barrier in place.
Okay, now they have Lucio.
Which is unseen.
they're gradually getting divier and divier into a pretty aggressively anti-dive team. But, good for you. Yeah, high grounds just give you way more opportunities to proc Inspire and way more opportunities to fuck up enemy dives with your whip shot, and that's like your dream. Nice. That was good. Like, I think the problem is you're playing very well, but you're starting at an inherent disadvantage. Like, you're playing well for the situation you're in, and you could just be in a better situation to start with by being directly above you right now. Yeah, I like it. There you go. It was a bit of time in open space, but like you had rally going, it wasn't too big of a risk. And then you got to the corner. And now you're out. I like it. Cool. Yeah, your pack management is good most of the time. It really is. It's like here and there that I think you start maybe panicking them out, or it might be something else going on. You know your own mental better than I do, but like, try to recognize when whatever is happening, because that's one of those things that like didn't matter before, but it's gonna matter a lot trying to push into GM. Even just like 1 or 2 fights by pack management sucked, well, that's 1 or 2 fights lost. That's the sort of thing that keeps you out of GM, yeah? Cool. Yeah, I think... So... I think you're still playing Brig a little bit more, just a little bit too aggro, a little bit too open space. You want to back up a little bit more than this usually. Rally, you can press W. Like right now it's great, but when your team is hard engaging, you press W and start swinging, and that's not always the right play. Even if your team is hard engaging, you're still not contributing very much damage, so you still want to be in positions where you can see what's going on, and in positions where you can't get caught out and just like accidentally die in open space or whatever. See how I almost go high ground and then realize Anna is low ground? Yeah, I get the thought process. I'm just saying, like, I still think you could have been high ground anyway and dropped to her. Pack her, whip shot whoever dies her while staying up there even.
Score.
Your honest positioning is god awful.
Switching sides.
Like, maybe she's the super low elo person offsetting this weirdly high elo game. I don't know. But if your honest positioning is really as bad as it is in this game, the answer isn't to position as badly as she is. The answer is still to position as well as you can and just try a little bit harder to bail her dumb ass out. 4100 tank, 3100 off tank this game. Our honest 3800.
Ready for battle.
Her aim must be cracked or something. It's blowing my mind that a 3800 Ana is playing low ground main. That blows my mind. But oh well.
Attackers incoming.
Okay.
5, 4,
Absolute mess of a game. Yeah, I mean,
1. Attackers incoming.
messes of a game are the games that main supports thrive in, or should thrive in, I should say, because like main supports are the problem solvers of the team. So you got shit tons of problems that you can be solving. So much carry potential left, right, and center. Whether or not it all adds up is who knows, but I like that until you peek to heal the Sig. I don't think you needed to do that, but so like one of the biggest differences between Masters and even like low GM is how quickly someone will melt. How good the focus fire is. Somebody calls a name and 6 people shoot them at once. Like, you crossing open space without your shield will absolutely get you killed in a lot of games. And so even if you aren't being punished for it, like, consistently, still try to... Like, that's one of those things where sometimes you will get punished for it. Like, here you kind of bashed in, you're in open space, you had no way to get away from the dragon, you die.
I can do better than that.
I feel like your reactions are very good, and you play very well for whatever's in front of you. The problem is, like, some of the times what's in front of... Because of your positioning, you just don't have options in front of you. Like, you don't have a carry play, or you don't have an escape. I guess some games, as little as they are, can be resumed in one word, unlucky. Yeah. I strongly believe you can learn from every game, but whether or not you're fixing every one of your mistakes would add up to the win, who knows. But mostly what I'm seeing right now is like a lot of open space on Brig. Not consistently, not all the time, but still nearly every time you die are the times that you're getting out into open space. Nice. That was good. I don't understand the heal amp there. That should have been speed. Everyone was full health and you're pushing onto the point. Yeah.
Objective A captured. New defense point.
I'm one of those examples with those kind of games. So, IMO, off-tank, and main support should have the easiest time thriving in chaotic games because you're all about problem solving and you have a variety of ways to do it. Doesn't mean you'll always be able to, but like, that's how I like to think of it. Like, what problems can I solve? What can I make better for my team? Unlucky sleep. Try to live higher up on walls. So like, you're dancing in through here, you're poking, whatever. Be up on this thing, yo. Poke out this diva and make her drop off high ground. She can't do shit to you from this range, and her team can't do anything either, and you can always hop right back out. I mean, Hog's here right now, but he wasn't a moment ago. And you see the Hog coming, it's really easy to dodge his hook from up here, if he even notices you. Like, you get some flank angles, you can poke this Kree a little bit. Vibe up on these walls. Walls are good. Go for, like, boot people off high ground if you can. Try not to peek main on Lucio, basically ever. Like, sometimes if you're right here with your team poking, but, like, even then, poke from walls, poke from the skybox, and drop on people. So, your Hog, you could kind of see that your Hog was fine, and you can also assume that Hog will be fine. I'm talking about that amp there. So you probably could have waited to amp. But at the very least, swap it from heals into speed so your team can follow up on this somewhat. Boom, speed. And then you're back on heals. Like, you can out-heal this diva. and you got really split from your team. I think the play here was to try to speed your Mei away from them. But, like, you're heal botting a little bit too much. You swap to speed and it's good, but then you immediately swap back to heals when your team could have still really used that speed, and you're not looking around. You're tunnel vision on this guy, and you're missing everything else that's going on. And I get that you're trying to peel your Mei, but, like, you can't out-heal a Nano Diva. There's just no way. Her only chance of survival is speeding her out. And if she doesn't speed out, then you let her die, and you go help someone you can help. Yeah? Heals are for topping people up after, or for when you have amp available. They're kind of okay, kind of, but they're still like only 50 a second. I like that amp. That was good. Oh, unlucky. Dude, I don't want to flex, but I'm on a 13-win streak, almost diamond on Junkrat. Your tips are already helping. Awesome! That's rad, dude. The most recent VOD review I put up is a bit different just because I wanted to get your take on it. Alright. Alright, you're taxing him back. I like it. Cool. So, speed Ryan and Mei, peel for Ana, speed Kree. Those are kinda the priority too. Like, you should peel for Ana as best you can, but you have a Kree, so it's not your first priority. Your first priority is getting your tanks and your Mei in so they can do what they need to do. Good. That was all really good. Good attempt to boot them off. Good amp. Yeah. The end of that was all really good. That was a free boop on BAP TBH. I was wondering, it looked like it was kinda max range. It might not have gone off, but breaking the lamp. You could have gone for the boop, you could have broken the lamp, you broke the lamp. My Lucio is a work in progress. Yeah,
My shield's up.
5, 4, 3, 2,
you seem...
1. Attackers incoming.
You seem to mostly get it. Like, you clearly understand the game. I would say your balance of speed to heals is off for this elo. Like, the amount you're healing right now is how I tell silver and gold Lucios to play. I can play all supports at 3500. Can't play Lucio any higher. Okay. Yeah, I mean, not to say this looks entirely like a gold Lucio. This looks like... your Lucio looked like a gold Lucio with a massive brain, if that makes sense. Yeah, just think about being higher up on walls. You're a scout, and you need to look around. And also, you're just sort of less of a target when you're way up above your team. And think about dropping onto whatever mission you have. You're gonna go boop a dive, you're gonna like go peel for somebody, you're gonna go Reddit and kill somebody, whatever. Think about dropping from above rather than coming from below like you're doing. And recognize that from about this elo on up, the focus fire is too good for your healing. Your healing is for while people are safe, to top them back up and to build your beat. Otherwise, their best chance of survival is you speeding them to safety. Or booping the enemies away. Or both. Um,
30 seconds remaining.
and like amp is a 12-second cooldown, and it only lasts for 3 seconds, and it's basically the only time Lucio goes from to amazing is those 3 seconds. So like, value them highly. Most of your amps are good, but like a few of them could use some work, and it's the sort of cooldown you absolutely want to min-max on Lucio. Like, I want you to be hyper-critical of your amps on Lucio and try to make them just as good as you possibly can, yeah? And I think that and being higher up on walls, you'll do really well. Cool. Yeah. And like, Brig you clearly get. I just want you to like start high grounds and drop, and work on your pack management like just a little bit. Like it's mostly good. There's just like those few moments, yeah? So start being a little bit more self-critical of your packs, especially if you run out of packs and then suddenly need one. Like, really think about those.
Bring it together.
Attackers incoming. Defend
Cool.
objective A.
I'm probably going to mostly look at your amps here, just to like help with the timing of those. So that amp would have been good if there was a shit ton of spam that you needed to cross. But because there wasn't, you probably could have saved it. That said, your team made this crossing really slowly, so you have it back already. Ideally, you guys would have come up here, and then you would have amped as you dropped onto the point. But this is all good. So like, amping here would be amazing. You're missing a lot of boop opportunities here, so like, it's all fine. Wait, yeah, you get your boop back, don't you? Oh, no, you didn't. Never mind, my bad. I missed that cooldown. Cool.
Oh, now to accelerate.
Yeah, and so on Lucio, even when you're up on walls, think a little bit about your pathing. If that wall is just like
30 seconds
a nice big
remaining.
platform for them to shoot you against, it's probably not great. So like, I'm not going to rewind, but when you rode across here, you were just looking at the entire enemy team and it was super easy to get you, versus like jump, whoop, jump, and then come up here and hit these walls to get out. So think about your pathing a little bit too. Like I said, usually your positioning is good. It's just like these moments still. Nice. Aw,
Victory.
zoned off. Yeah. Trying to think if there was anything else. I think that's pretty much it for now. Do you have any questions or anything? Um, all right, yeah, the ebb and flow feeling on Brig was really good, but that's another one that could use like a little tweaking here and there. And mostly on the pathing part of your ebb and flow. You know when to go in, you know when to get out. You are moving between backline and frontline very well on Brig. You just weren't always taking like the safest ways, or like giving yourself angles where you could doink whip shots, that sort of thing. I'm seeing the things I need to work on. Cool. Awesome.